Are you looking to unlock the power of persistence and achieve greater results in your life? In this video, we delve into the profound teachings of Buddhism to uncover 5 impactful ways you can harness the strength of persistence. Lesson 1. Figure out what you really want. The first and maybe most important step in being persistent to reach your goals is to figure out what you really want. In Buddhism, finding out what your true desires are is a deep process of self-discovery that includes going beyond your wants and what society expects of you to find your deeper, more meaningful goals. Self-reflection and awareness are 2 of the most important things you can do to start finding out what you really want. Self-reflection means stepping back from the business of everyday life to look at your ideas, feelings, and wants. This process is like looking at yourself in a mirror, which shows both the outside and the inside of you. Being mindful, which is a core idea in Buddhism, is a big part of this process of thinking about yourself. Mindfulness helps you become more able to notice your feelings and thoughts without judging them. This awareness that doesn't judge lets you see your wants as they really are, without how your ego or social training has shaped them. Being mindful can help you tell the difference between wants that are short-lived and superficial, and wants that give you a deeper sense of purpose and satisfaction. It can be hard to figure out what you really want because it's easy to confuse real wants with fake ones. Wants that are on the surface are often affected by things like social norms, peer pressure, or ads. They are usually short-lived and can bring short-term happiness. For instance, wanting things, fame, or other people's approval may seem important, but it doesn't always lead to lasting happiness. Real wants, on the other hand, are those that are in line with your core ideals and give your life meaning and purpose. Often, they have to do with your interests, skills, and the things that really make you living. These wants last a long time and make you feel calm and happy inside. One real wish could be to work in a field where you can help people, make art, or learn more about the universe's mysteries. In Buddhism, meditation is a powerful technique that can help you get closer to what you really want. Meditation can help you reach a higher level of awareness by slowing your mind and removing distractions. You can explore your inner world more easily and learn more about who you really are when you're in this state. You can watch your thoughts and feelings without getting attached when you meditate. Being detached from things helps you see through the lies that your ego and societal standards tell you. It helps you get in touch with your true self and figure out what's important to you. Regular meditation can help you see things more clearly and make sure your actions are in line with what you really want. To find out what you really want, you need to look into your interests and skills. Your interests and hobbies that make you happy and excited are your passions. They are the things you naturally want to do and enjoy doing, even if no one else awards or recognizes you for them. Your gifts, on the other hand, are the things you're really good at. They are often natural, but you can also work at them and get better at them. To find your skills and passions, think about the things that keep you busy or the things that you are always interested in learning more about. Take into account what other people say about your strengths and skills. Doing a lot of different things can also help you find new hobbies and talents you didn't know you had. Values like kindness, truthfulness, and modesty are stressed in Buddhism as ways to live a meaningful life. It is important to think about how your wants fit in with your core values when you are trying to figure out what you really want. Values are the rules that you follow when making choices and acting. Your values show what's important to you and form the basis of who you are. When you align your wants with your values, you make sure that your activities are in line with your beliefs and principles. For instance, if you value kindness, you might find happiness in a job where you help other people or fight for social justice. If you respect creativity, you might work on creative projects or artistic projects. When your wants and beliefs are in line with each other, your inner and outer worlds feel at peace. When your deeds are in line with who you really are, your goals become more meaningful and satisfying. Setting intentions is a strong Buddhist practice that means being clear and mindful about what you want to achieve. Intentions are more flexible and focused on the process than rigid goals, which are usually focused on specific results. They focus on the quality of your acts and the way you think about the things you do. Being aware of your wants and making sure they are in line with your values is part of setting goals. It also means being open to how things happen and not getting too attached to certain results. If you want to grow and make a positive difference in your area, for example, you could set an intention instead of a goal to get a certain job or salary. This way of thinking makes you more adaptable and open, which is important for dealing with life's uncertainties. Plans can also help you stay focused on what's important by acting as a guide. They help you remember why you're doing what you're doing and keep you going when things get tough. Setting goals gives you a sense of direction and purpose, which makes it easier to stay true to what you want. Buddhist beliefs stress compassion and loving kindness, which are also important for figuring out what you really want. A strong sense of empathy and care for yourself and others are important parts of these traits. It's important to approach the process of figuring out what you really want with respect and loving kindness. If you want to show kindness to yourself, you need to be kind and patient with yourself as you learn more about yourself. Accepting that you aren't perfect and that it's okay to change your mind or make mistakes is part of it. Speaking loving kindness, on the other hand, means having a good mood and being kind to yourself and others. When you show compassion and loving kindness, you make a safe space for yourself to find. You give yourself room and time to explore your real desires without worrying about what other people will think or say. This kind of caring attitude also applies to other people, which helps you make important connections and make the world a better place. Finding out what you really want is a deep and life-changing process that requires you to be self-aware, reflect, and have a solid grasp on your true wants, values, and goals. In Buddhism, this trip is seen as an important part of living a life with meaning and satisfaction. You can find your true self and make sure your actions are in line with your core values by reflecting on yourself, meditating, and exploring your interests and skills. Setting goals and practicing compassion and loving kindness make this process even better by giving you clarity, a sense of purpose, and motivation. As you figure out what you really want, you build the basis for a life of hard work that matters, guided by a strong sense of purpose and inner peace. This process of self-discovery isn't just about reaching certain goals. It's also about living a life that is true to you and makes the world a better place. Lesson 2. Be driven to achieve your goals. Determination is the unwavering resolve that keeps us going even when things go wrong. This is what keeps us going and helps us reach our goals. In Buddhism, determination is often compared to a candle's steady flame that stays bright even when the wind blows. Even when we try our best, bad feelings and thoughts do happen. When these things happen, right effort is about choosing to let them go and not letting them control our actions or hurt us or others. It's helpful to be aware of the bad state and accept that it's there, but not to interact with it. Instead, think about something good, like your breath or a positive statement. This is about making an effort to have good feelings and thoughts. We have to be determined to fill our minds with good moral thoughts. To get better at this, think about good things like thanks, kindness, or compassion every day. There are also things you can do that will make you happy and calm. Correct effort is about taking care of and strengthening good states so they become a stable and long-lasting part of our minds. To practice this, keep your positive feelings strong by thinking about and doing good things on a regular basis. For example, if you've learned to be grateful, keep it up by thinking about the things you're thankful for and telling other people how grateful you are. Having well-thought-out goals helps us stay focused on our drive. Make sure your goals are SMART, which stands for clear, measured, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This will help you keep track of your progress and give you a clear goal to work toward. Sometimes, big goals can feel too much, which can make it hard to stay determined. Split your big goals into smaller ones that you can handle. You'll be able to see the way to your goal better, and each step will seem more doable. No matter how small, every step forward is growth. Celebrate these little wins to keep yourself going. You might only need to tell yourself good things about your progress or give yourself a treat. Making up your mind is an important part of being determined. Focus on your strengths, past wins, and the good things that will happen when you reach your goal. This will help you keep going and stay inspired. Being mindful helps us stay in the present and keep our eyes on the prize. It also helps us see and deal with problems without getting too stressed out. Mindfulness meditation should be done every day to keep your mind calm and focused. Making a decision doesn't have to be something you do by yourself. Get help from people who share your goals, like friends, family, teachers, or communities. They can give you support, help, and a sense of community that will keep you going. It's important to be aware of the bad things that can happen when you're determined to keep going. Being determined shouldn't turn into being stubborn or obsessed. We or other people shouldn't get hurt by it. It shouldn't keep us from seeing that we need to adapt or change. The middle way tells us to stay away from extremes. When talking about drive, this means staying away from the two extremes of being too loose or too tight. We shouldn't be too lazy and give up as soon as things get hard. But we shouldn't be too set in our ways, refusing to change course even though it's clear that what we're doing isn't working. Remember that being determined means going after our goals without giving up, but it also means being smart and kind as we do so. To achieve this, you need to find a balance between effort and knowledge, action and reflection, and persistence and flexibility. Being aware of just one flaw in yourself is more helpful than being aware of 1,000 flaws in someone else. Don't lie to yourself. Think about how determined you are, admit your flaws, and make a promise to get better. Decision-making power is not a limited resource. We don't just have a certain amount of it when we are born. We can develop and improve this skill or trait through practice. So start working on it. Begin to work on your determination right now and watch as your persistence grows and your goals get closer. We will get to our goals by being determined. It's the steady light that shines brightly even when it's windy. Strong determination is what keeps us going, even when the road is rough and there are many hurdles in the way. Lesson 3. Know when to change things. Sticking with a plan even when it's clear that it's not working is not what persistence is. It's about knowing when to change, getting used to them, and then sticking with them again. This is shown in Buddhism by the idea of impermanence. The Buddha often used a river to show how life works. The river flows, changes, and adapts all the time. It doesn't stubbornly stay on one road. When it hits something, it changes its mind. These changes happen all the time, just like the river. Our surroundings, our friends and family, and even our goals can all change. We need to know when to make changes, just like the river. If something isn't working, we need to change how we're doing it, and then keep going. Being able to change is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. To understand that the world changes over time, and that our plans and strategies need to adapt to meet those changes. It's called the middle way, and it's what the Buddha taught. Balance is important, and you need to know when to make changes. If you're too set in your ways, you might be following a road that isn't leading you anywhere. But if you're too open to change, you might give up too quickly. That's what the middle way is all about. The middle way tells us not to get too attached to the road we're on or to give up on it too quickly. It's about being aware of our progress, being honest about our position, and making changes when we need to. This balanced method keeps us from making the mistakes that come with being stubborn or unable to decide. The Buddha says that this is a bad idea. The raft helped us get across the river, but we should leave it behind once we're done. In the same way, we should use plans, strategies, and even ideas to help us reach our goals in life. Having said that, we shouldn't get so tied to them that we can't tell when they're no longer useful. We need to know when to make changes, just like the man with the raft. Plans and tactics are things that we use to help us reach our goals. We shouldn't be afraid to get rid of them if they don't work, though, and find new tools that will help us. Being mindful can help you figure out when to make changes. You can honestly judge your growth if you are fully present and aware. Becoming more aware will help you see what's not working and make the changes that are needed. Being mindful lets us notice our feelings, thoughts, and behaviors without judging them. It helps us see trends that aren't working for us and makes it clear how to change them. For instance, if you keep working toward a goal even though you're feeling more and more worried and unhappy, mindfulness can help you see this and make you think about how you're doing things. The skill of letting go is often needed to know when to make changes. The idea of not being attached is very important in Buddhism. The idea is that we shouldn't hold on to people, things, or ideas so strongly that they hurt us. We should still care about our goals and the people in our lives, though. It means we should hold them close and be ready to let go when the time comes. It can be hard to let go, especially when we've put a lot of time and effort into something. Remember, though, that letting go does not mean shutting up. We have to accept that something is no longer useful and make room for something new. Along with mindfulness and self-reflection, intuition is a key part of knowing when to make changes. Our gut can sometimes tell us something is wrong long before our brain can figure it out. When we learn to trust our gut, we can make the right decisions. People often say that intuition is like a gut feeling or a quiet voice inside their head. We know this because it comes from deep inside us. To improve your intuition, try to clear your head by meditating or spending time outside. Your gut gets stronger the more you pay attention to it. Being brave is also needed to know when to make changes. It's scary to make changes, especially when they mean going into the unknown. Remember, the Buddha said, "The secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or anticipate troubles, but to live in the present moment wisely and earnestly." Courage is not being afraid, but being able to do something even though you're scared. It's about realizing that things need to change and doing something about it, even if it scares you. You'll get better at making changes the more you do it. Accepting that things change over time is necessary for knowing when to make changes. Anicca, which means change, is one of the 3 marks of existence in Buddhism. It means realizing that everything in life is always changing. Things don't stay the same forever, and holding on to the thought that they should only leads to pain. Accepting that things will change is a part of accepting uncertainty. It means being aware that our plans, goals, and tactics will need to change as time goes on. We can learn to welcome change as a chance to grow and start over instead of fighting it. A big part of being persistent is knowing when to make changes. To understand that the world changes over time and that our plans and strategies need to adapt to meet those changes. Being aware, thinking, trusting our gut, and having courage can help us learn to make the right changes at the right time. We can see change not as something to be afraid of, but as a chance to grow if we accept the idea of uncertainty. Remember what the Buddha said, "Everything changes, nothing stays the same." Know when to adapt, when to change, and when to keep going. This is the way to real growth and success that lasts. Lesson 4. Build self-control and routines. To reach long-term goals, self-control means being able to keep your thoughts, feelings, and actions in check. It's about choosing choices that are in line with your ideals and goals instead of grabbing things right away. Self-control is an important trait for persistence because it helps you stick to your goals even when things go wrong or things get in the way. Some people say that the mind is like a wild horse. It can lead us wrong if we don't train and control it. But if we have self-control, we can direct our minds to good ideas and deeds. This is what the Buddhist path is all about. Training the mind to gain peace of mind, compassion, and understanding. Encourages kindness and care for all living things, as we are reminded to be kind and caring, even when we are angry or frustrated. It helps us keep our cool. To get yourself going again, think about why you started in the first place. Find your deeper meaning and think about how your goals will help you. You could also break your goals down into smaller steps that you can handle and celebrate each little win. Distractions often get in the way of self-control and sticking to a pattern. Set clear limits with others, make a dedicated workspace, and turn off notifications on your devices to cut down on distractions. Perfectionism can make you put things off and be hard on yourself. Focus on growth instead of perfection to get over your need to be perfect. Remember that it's okay to mess up, and that getting something done is better than getting it right. It's easier to build self-control and habits when you have help. Talk to family, friends, or teachers who can help and encourage you on your path. You could also think about joining a club or group of people who have the same goals as you. Being mindful is a great way to improve your self-control and stick to your habits. Mindfulness helps you stay focused, make smart decisions, and avoid distractions by making you more aware of the present moment. Being mindful helps you watch your thoughts without getting caught up in them. Being aware of this can help you push away bad thoughts and other things that might take your attention away from your goals. Mindfulness trains you to notice and accept your feelings without responding to them. Keeping your emotions in check can help you stay calm and focused, even when things go wrong or problems arise. Start a daily meditation practice to make awareness a part of your life. It only takes a few minutes a day to make a big difference in how well you can stay present and focused. Being mindful throughout the day can also be done by paying attention to the things you do. For instance, pay attention to how the food tastes, feels, and looks while you eat. Pay close attention to how your feet feel on the ground and how your body moves as you walk. Body scan meditation is another way to make awareness a part of your daily life. As you do this practice, go through your body in your mind, from head to toe, noticing any feelings, stress, or pain. Body scan meditation can help you become more aware of how your body feels and let go of worry and tension. Routines and self-control help you stay focused and get things done by cutting down on distractions and making the most of your time and energy. Being able to control yourself gets stronger the more you use it. Having more self-control makes you stronger-willed and better able to avoid temptations and make smart decisions. Routines and self-control help you make better choices by making sure they are in line with your values and goals. Routines can help lower stress and anxiety by giving you order and stability. It can be nice to know what to expect every day. It can also make you feel more in charge of your life. Having self-control and following a schedule can help your health and well-being. They can help you form healthy habits like working out regularly, eating well, and getting enough sleep. Having more self-control and sticking to a pattern can help you feel better about your own self-worth. You'll feel good about your skills and believe in your abilities as you see yourself making progress toward your goals. You can become more resilient by learning how to deal with problems and get back on your feet after a failure. They give you a base of stability and regularity that can help you get through hard times. To keep working toward your goals and not give up, you need to develop self-control and habits. You can develop the discipline and attention you need to stay on track by following the 5 precepts and making a daily routine that helps you reach your goals. Remember what the Buddha said: the secret of health for both mind and body is not to mourn for the past, worry about the future, or look forward to trouble, but to live in the present moment wisely and honestly. So work on your self-control and creating habits that help you stay in the present and support your hard work. Lesson 5. Be able to change and adapt. Our thoughts, feelings, interactions, and even our bodies can change over the course of our lives. Being more flexible and able to adjust to new situations can help us understand and accept this basic truth. Picture a big, strong tree. The tree that moves with the wind will be okay during a storm, but the tree that stays straight might break. People who are flexible and able to deal with change are also more likely to do well in life. Sticking to one road or method is not what persistence means. It's about being able to bend and change with the times. We need to change our plans and keep going forward, just like the bamboo tree does when the wind blows. Another important Buddhist teaching is the idea of anatta, which means not self. It helps us remember that there is no such thing as a set self. We are always changing, growing, and improving. Understanding this can help us let go of strong ties to who we are, what we believe, and our goals. We become rigid and unwilling to change when we hold on to a set sense of who we are. It's easy to stick to old habits because that's who I am, or "that's how I've always done it." But when we realize that our sense of self is fluid and always changing, we're more open to new things and ways of being. A man who uses a raft to cross a river was in a story that the Buddha once told. He doesn't carry the raft on his back after he gets to the other side. He leaves it behind because it did its job. In the same way, our values, identities, and ways of doing things are like rafts that help us get through life. We shouldn't be too attached to them, though. We should be ready to let them go when they're no longer useful. We're more open to new ideas and opportunities when we look at life with a beginner's mind. We're not limited by what we've done or what we believe. Being open makes it easier for us to deal with problems and adjust to new situations. To be able to bend and adapt, we need to empty our cups, which means we have to let go of our ideas and be open to new ones. We can change our plans, learn from our mistakes, and keep moving forward because we are open. Mindfulness exercise can help us become more adaptable and flexible. We can watch our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without judging them when we are fully present and aware. We can tell when we're being rigid or unwilling to change when we are aware of it. Being flexible also means knowing how to let go. We have to let go of our hopes, our ties, and even our goals every once in a while. That doesn't mean giving up. It just means being ready for a better way to do things or a different result. As Buddha said, you can only lose what you cling to. To learn how to let go, do this. Be flexible with your plans and goals, and be ready for life to take turns you